Radiant team ban. Seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Radiant team pick. Dire team pick.
Invoker.
Dire team pick.
Witch Doctor.
Radiant team pick.
Beastmaster.
Welcome back, everybody. Sorry, a little bit late into the draft. They drafted faster than I just expected, but we are here with Team Alternate Attacks versus Ad Finem, Chen, Beastmaster, Invoker, Witch Doctor. Draft is already here. Blaze, what do you make of it?
Radiant
it's going to be pretty interesting, man. I mean, obviously, Ad Finem's drafting style in Phase 1 always revolves around what they're getting Spartan on. We've seen the Wisp in Game 1. Not surprisingly, they're not going back to that one. It's, the global coordination was not evident in that first game. But later on, they go ahead and they get the Bounty Hunter, which doesn't turn out to be a Spartan pickup, but still turns out to be a high-impact one for maybe next time that really defined the early game. Now, they're looking to define the early game with Chen. Getting Beastmaster along with that for the Aura Cleave, as well as the just continuous push pressure. We could easily see them just run down the lanes and look to end the game quickly, which means that alternate attacks can't go for the Doom. They can't go for really greedy heroes. We're still actually going to see Void and Doom banned out, and I actually don't even agree with those bans, because you're already like breaking the tower so fast. There's no way a Void can defend, no way a Void can respond, but I guess they sync up so well with Invoker and Witch Doctor that they just don't want to give those heroes away.
Yeah, I think there's also, I mean, the Doom being able to eat a Chen creep, that kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Kind of annoying. And you still got 3 others though, so I could kind of see it being left out. Oracle finally makes it through the pool. This has been a pretty consistent 3-4 ban and actually a lot of pools. When you are potentially running Bat Rider, it's good to be able to keep Oracle out of the pool, and it's also a really great counter to Beastmaster. I think Ad Finem maybe should have banned that one, but I guess we'll have to see.
5 seconds remaining.
We are going to see in Phase 2 something a little bit different from Ad Finem, though, where for their first phase always has a very clear idea between the two heroes, as we saw last time with the Bounty Hunter. We got to see early tempo, the Death Prophet as well, a lot of early pushing, pressuring, and we do see that with the Chen of the Beastmaster again, but they still want to go for this all-around lineup. They don't want to just kind of pigeonhole their draft into one win condition, one way to play the game. They want to kind of mix it up a little bit and still have some really good mid to late game team fight. That's why, for example, they put Madara on the Sven last game, because this guy has now an over 70% competitive win rate on the hero. He's very comfortable with it, and he can fight extremely well at all stages of the game. Deservingly, it gets a ban out here in Phase 2 from Alternate, who also banned out the Venge. I would have loved to see the old school triple aura strat of Chen, Beastmaster, Venge, where you get the attack speed creep, you get obviously the Inner Beast as well as the Vengeance aura, but we will just be seeing Rubik and Death Prophet come into play here. And while Rubik is kind of so-so in some ways against these heroes, there's a lot of spells to steal, but none of them are the most impactful unless somehow you luck out and get a Death Ward. I would say that more so, you're looking at just the fact that you get this null field to keep everything alive. You've got Boar Summons, you've got the Necronomicon, you've got up to 4 Chen creeps, and you've got to keep them alive as much as possible, because, as you mentioned, one of the heroes on alternate side is going to be eating them. Lynx will be having a feast when Chen brings out the army from the jungle.
Yeah. Other than that, though, they don't have too much spam. I guess they got the, like, later on, obviously, the problematic, but for some of the early pushes, you eat a Chen creep and you paralyzing cast the rest, but all the other push from Ad Finem should still be able to go on. The Lone Druid is going to be the ban by Team Alternate Attacks. You still had a core of some kind left open for Ad Finem, and a safe lane Lone Druid definitely could have been the choice here. tankier hero might be able to deal with Clinks better than most. While the Enchantress was the ban from Ad Finem. A good high ground defending hero, and Ad Finem don't have the most amazing heroes to deal with it, mostly because their supports don't have a whole lot of nukes to their side. So in that case, the Enchantress offlane actually could have been something to worry about.
Yeah, you'll notice with a lot of these offlaners also that they're just something that Nisha will be comfortable with. They've kind of forced him to go into like a Tidehunter, which Rubik is really strong against, and any kind of mech lineup can be very good against. So all in all, I would say that alternate don't want to have to pick with the Tide, but they might very well have to, just because the pool has been narrowed quite a bit. I mean, you could consider like a Lifestealer for the early fight, because you get the Infest on the Ancient Creep, which Ched generally doesn't get to do much with, and as such, we would see the potential for them to take those team fights around the level 6 to 11 period that Ad Finem are at their strongest. But they go with the Bat Rider again, and still has a lot of potential, as we've seen. It's just, it hasn't won either game. It hasn't shown its full prowess.
Yeah. So, Bat Rider. I mean, I feel like, would the Enchantress offlane, in your mind, would the Enchantress offlane or the Bat Rider been a better pick for Team Alternate?
Juggernaut.
I think, honestly, Alternate would have benefited more from the Enchantress. Like, they get not only the ability to steal creeps away from Chen, but also being able to, like, get essentially an uncontested level 6. Like, how does Rubik Chen +1 kill an Enchantress? Most heroes, not a problem. But Enchantress is very unique in how well she survives from damage over time, and even if they chain disable, like, the Untouchable is still a big problem. So yeah. Bat Rider, I feel like they can zone out. As if Chen is missing off the map, if Bat Rider's or Observer gets centered, then suddenly you have to be worried from any telekinesis from Rubik. If you're in telekinesis range, you're theoretically in Hellbearer, Clap range, or anything else. It's just very scary. So Nisha, he's going to be mostly playing into the jungle, not playing into the lane, whereas the Enchantress, I feel, could actually stay on the lane and contest it.
That's fair enough. I like that breakdown. The Juggernaut choice here for Madara, it's still a good high ground hero with the healing wards, etc. for the Death Prophet. You have triple heals now on the side of Ad Finem. And
prepare for battle.
I would just add one more thing, is that the vision game against Bat Rider, when you have Beastmaster, is obviously really advantageous for Ad Finem. So I would say in that regard that that is also another kind of boon. That if the Bat Rider is going to have to be the pick for ATN, you're kind of already prepared for it.
Like maybe next time's early movement here, a Smoke Breaker if necessary, and he is going to be seeing the Bat Rider make his move. I think he saw that, right? Oh, he didn't have Radiant Vision on, but there's a chance that he actually didn't catch that. I think he caught it though, moving in through this route. He does place the ward. Did he place it from the low ground or the high ground? Did you catch?
He placed it from the, I think the Machto? I don't know.
Okay. That's the thing. That's
I
the
got
real
distracted.
Thing
I got distracted by Spartan writing a heart on the minimap.
30 seconds.
That's fair. That's fair. But I feel like the difference between the two, if the Bat Rider goes down the steps and places it versus goes up and walks into vision, is dramatically different, because the Chen ganks will have to be focused on the mid lane if that ward doesn't get removed. And the problem is the Chen doesn't know that, so he'll attempt 1 or 2 ganks bottom while the Invoker gets time and space mid, and then they realize, oh, I should have been ganking and harassing Supreme all along. So we'll see the focus of Spartan here, but it's very important that they know whether or not those ganks are feasible on the bottom lane.
See, Beastmaster against a Oracle Clinks. That, I think, is a matchup that you wanted to get Iron Talon. I'm not positive, but this is going to be really tough lane for Beastmaster for sure, simply because the Oracle offers such a long duration disable in Fortune's End, and obviously Clinks can easily deal with the boars, so they really shouldn't be able to zone K-Core out. But hey, a lot of it does come down to level 1 play from Skylark, and I think he's already in an okay position here. But as you can see, he's going to have a hard time cutting back into lane if K-Core just holds his ground right now.
Yeah, so Exarchir can just kind of take up the central position between the lane, and either way, he's still getting a lot of good hits in on the boar or on Skylark himself, and he's not missing too many last hits.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, LD Sasha is going to be joining Nisha at the bottom lane. Chen is going to be coming in for a gank on mid. Looks like Supreme is going to be caught out by this one. The clap doesn't actually hit, but Thug may still be able to get the kill without a Berry Fire save. And a healing salve up. Supreme gets it off just in time, baiting Thug into thinking he had it with the Crypt Swarm.
Now, there is no cost on Supreme here, so he's still not going to be able to like punish the Chen directly, but just the fact that he lives through that is a really big deal, and he'll just ferry himself out some tankos from this point forward. So Spartan will play around two sides of the map, which is obviously showing some good versatility here. Tornado coming out immediately, but that Fire is so clutch. The last moment. Nice cast bottom. Rubik is not going to be focused down, though.
Oh, a big crit leads the way for Madara. And that will allow him to go for the Witch Doctor kill. And maybe next time, caught out by the sticky napalm, gets Fireflied up. He managed to get, he's going to turn for the tier 1 tower. He's going to be chased down. Nisha will be able to get this kill eventually, but he's going to take a lot of damage under this tier 1 in the process. And his Firefly is about to run out. Madara knows it too. He's going to try and track Nisha down underneath the trees. Madara needs to choose the right direction to go here. Nisha, juked him beautifully, eating the single tree required to get out.
And in mid lane, we're going to see another tree juke come through. Witch Doctor is able to tango his way through a dangerous position, despite being pincered in on by a Wild Wing. Warrior, though, going rogue for a second there, nearly suicides to the creeps, and the Sunstrike is off the mark. Man, these exchanges are so close. It really shows that both sides, both teams are really kind of evenly matched in terms of their potential to find these kills. Okay, what the?
He was still stuck. He didn't have another tree to eat. He didn't have another tango.
Oh, that is.
So Thug just kind of casually walked in. He's like, "Hey, buddy, what's going on?"
Yeah, that's not something you see very often. Actually, so people are going to blame me for admitting this, but I forgot that you had to eat 2 trees in that position because I don't usually use that juke pass very often, and back in Heroes of New Earth there was only 1 tree to eat. So I know it's like a million years ago, but I still have a couple of things embedded in my brain that I assume and don't think about, and that was one of them. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, ate the tree, it's free, and nope, not even close. He's
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Get back to the game at hand, where we know Skylark is going to be building a puzzle box for this game.
Awesome.
I remember it was what was Portal Key or something like that. I remember that slipped in a couple times early on when I started casting Dota 2. Couldn't get rid of that blink deck. I mean, it's so like blink dagger is so easy to remember too, but so I have no idea why Portal Key would ever pop up, but you know, things.
It really is. It's just the weird things that stick in your brain there, but this is Dota 2, a very, very interesting game that's gone a long way and has seen a lot of different faces. But we're going to see Batrider with the double damage rune maybe get punished here. I mean, they don't have a good creep to really...
Yeah. If only they had a Hellbear or even a Centaur or something to actually keep Nisha in place if they led with a telekinesis. Death Prophet ends up going down in mid. Missed that. Sorry. Completely missed that. Still, Nisha takes a bit of damage. They try and go for a tornado play. Doesn't really result in much.
So we'll see here. The Invoker actually getting a pretty good start overall. I mean, honestly, he's finding himself like some good solo experience, but obviously it's still been a pretty high pressure lane. He's been pushed back multiple times. Still, like with the Chen chain ganking, like you're expecting the Supreme to lose out on CS. The question is whether he gets his spells out to make up for it, and he is a full level behind. This is kind of the expectation, but Alternate have at least met that, and it seems like they now have a focus of trying to counter gank every time the Chen moves aggressively.
Yeah, Chen should definitely spend some time just farming up. Looks like he is going to go for it now. He's got the Wild Ring Ripper that he's going to steal, and he's going to tornado this creep, this stack. So his levels will look a little bit better soon, but it's still 5.5 minutes, and I can't imagine this stack is going to get him more than level 3. So he's definitely far behind with all this rotating.
Skarlik playing pretty far forward here, is not having too bad of a start. Gets to level 6 as pretty much one of the first heroes on the map to get it. Like, Madara's still got his Omni Slash up, but in general, like, this is going to be a really early Primal Roar coming out, whereas the Batrider, he's he's still working his way slowly. Like, he's final level 5, but I feel like Skylark is going to be more of a tempo controller just for that reason alone. And the fact that the Chen hasn't used his smoke yet that he bought at the beginning of the game.
Oh, moderate. On the slash. He gets it off. Holy crap. Did he get crits on both those hits? That was like max damage on both on these slash hits. You guys are going to stop killing at the same time. Death Prophet manages to get the Witch Doctor with the Beastmaster to the top river area.
Yeah, essentially Beastmaster just trails him all the way to the rune, and instead of picking up the Invis rune, Oracle denies it from Thug because he thought he'd get there first, and then it caught him between a rock and a hard place. So it's not good. Spartan, what are these creeps? Like, these are the worst creeps possible for the Chet. The Wildwig, the Wolf Commander. Like, what is an Alpha Wolf doing 6 minutes in the game?
No clue. I mean, he cleared through his stack, and then I guess he went over to this medium camp and was like, well, I guess I take what I can get.
If he was just dedicated farming the jungle, great, but it looks like he's going to go for a Wildwig stack. Ah, the old school, if he could even get it. Yeah, he'll get the full set. So, for those that haven't played the game in the past 2 years, this used to be the way Chen actually farmed. This is the way Chen jungled with triple quad stack the jungle and then just Wildwig, because you don't actually have to aggro the camp with Tornado unless you want to. And as such, you get obviously a lot of golden experience for yourself. But man, I honestly haven't seen like a stacked Tornado farm in, I would say, 6 months at least.
I would say I haven't seen somebody do that like multiple times in the game. Like, I've seen it maybe once. You know, they get like they stack up a camp once because they already ran into a tornado creep, so they stack up a camp twice where they're using another creep to like harass mid or something. But I've never seen one like actually focus on doing it. But this is the way Spartan needs to come back in the game, right? Like he roamed around a lot. He fell behind in experience where other Chens would have been definitely, like level 5 by minute 5. So he kind of needs to gain some ground. He still needs to get that all-important mech for the Death Prophet. Can't afford to that. Oh, maybe next time. Runs it as Supreme while he was doing the hard camp here. Witch Doctor, Paralyzing Cask is going to go out. Supreme does have Alacrity damage. Telekinesis is going to throw back. Maybe next time he's going to try and aggro onto Roshan or go for the TP, but that doesn't really work when a Force Spirit's falling.
No, sir. So that's going to be Rubik going down pretty early here, but they're still going to be able to get some push action going. They have the Exorcism, they have the Roar, but where do they put them? Are we actually going to see Skylark rotate mid? Because like the way they're moving right now, it implies Beastmaster wants to go mid, and we just got Chen and Death Prophet like going aggressive.
I knew Mono was going to go for it, the Omni Slash onto the Aura. I'm just having a terrible time today, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just trying to distract you as much as possible. I'm seeing the kill, and I'm just like, I'll talk about something else.
Oh, the Roar! Skylark barely survives through the attempted kill of the Clinks. Go over to mid lane where Thug is pressing into Supreme. Yeah, I just gotta go all over the place, guys. You never know where the kill's gonna happen.
Just keep on clicking heroes. Just jump back and forth, give every viewer a headache. Just make sure.
I wish there was keys to be able to, like, if I could just like F1 through 10 real quickly.
Yeah, the Counter-Strike key setup is something I envy every day when I do dedicated observing, but all the same. It's I don't know. It's just one of those games. Like, this game has been all over the place, and even the last one had a few of those kills are just that are almost impossible to expect. But we do see the ultimate up on the Clinks. He's going bottom. Madara is the hero they need to kill because of how many freebies he's gotten. He's 3 and 0, but realistically, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, it's one of those low percentage ganks. Real difficult to actually hit. Kling's much more likely to get a free kill on the Chen, though. Chen is level 6. He does have a fallback of his ultimate. You can't spend too much time wandering around the jungle not actually getting the kill. Exotic Deer. They need to be able to make something happen here.
Absolutely. I mean, right now, these guys are pushing it top, no problem at all. Just keep summoning boars, and he'll have his Necrobook in no time at all. Like this, he's not even gonna have to go treads or anything intermediary because his lane isn't pressed. It's just straight up he gets to take out more than half the tower's HP because they're just wasting time to run up on the gank. I mean, this is the timing where you should be looking for that. Clicks hitting level 8 or 9, the Batrider with the Blink Dagger, but in the end they end up losing out to an extent because Ad Finem just far more efficiently in the meantime.
Spooky, scary ghost lady sneaking around behind the tier 1 tower with their invis. Fortunately though, Elisash backed himself away at the right time. I think he spotted that out.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And they'll just open up on top. Again, I'll have to ask the question. Do you think they could go tier 2 with an Exorcism? It looks like Skylark will TP back, but it's just an idea at least. The potential for them to just kind of pop the ult, big ulti and keep it moving. Alternate, however, have a better fighting lineup than they did last game.
Nisha should be the easy kill here for Ad Finem as they slow him down. Firefly, Blink Dagger's up in a second, but never mind. Spirit Siphon puts a stop to that one. Mid lane spin coming on through, but they have the physical damage thanks to Exotic Gear to blow him up. He thought, all right, I'll challenge you too. I've got the spin. My allies will be here soon. But if Chen had actually gone for the ultimate, I think he survived.
Yeah, I actually agree with that completely. So that's quite unfortunate that he didn't. I mean, I think right now it's just the Evoker, the Witchlight, they're saying, if you're going to come at me, you better come at me strong. And hasted Spinning Juggernaut is usually something that has no fear, but in this case, the hand of God was not with him. Chen focused on his micro. He's got so many creeps right now. Maxing out his army, all melee, no real range of initiation. He's going to be very dependent on the Beastmaster or the Rubik to set up the chain stuns.
Did you call off the non-mech builds, Spartan?
I mean, no.
I'm only just now seeing this one. I can't say that I'm a fan.
Well, you can't eat ancient creeps, so
that might have actually been the reason. He's like, well,
I hate playing Chen against Clinks, dude. I mean, it's hard enough as it is, just microing all 4 at a time, but having to worry about just randomly one just kind of being pulled into the shadows. Yeah, I can't stand it, so I don't necessarily blame him, but I would say that it is not only unorthodox, but probably a weakening aspect if they don't have the mechanism for the next few fights.
I mean, if he gets the axe successfully and they get the ancient creeps, like they get the golem, then that may actually be better than mech. But it's just kind of like the meantime that's kind of scary. The meantime is right now in this Roshan today with Meteor's going to come down, but they've already managed to get the Aegis, and I think ATM just want to try and get the hell out of here. Spirit Siphon slowing down some of these heroes, but as Finem are doing a lot of chasing, they will be able to catch Kankor here. This is a level 2 Omni Slash, so I don't think Kankor will be able to out-heal this. Even with the healing ward, he still ends up going down, but Clinks did get the tier 2 at the top lane. Maybe next time. Actually managed to steal the invis. That's a maxed out invis too. That's a really good steal for the Rubik now, as there's the possibility for him to set up ganks around the map or even sit on the Clinks. Death Ward laid out, not doing a single point of damage. Don't think I've ever seen that one, but hey, a well-timed deny.
You never see the zoning Death Ward, man? Come on. It's a free deny. That's like, okay, well, I wait 80 seconds to be at full potential, and you don't get a tower. Like, that's just perfect.
True.
I don't know. It's definitely and less common as well, but it's just one of those things where it's like, there is value in a spell, even if it doesn't do anything effectively. Like, as long as it prevents the enemy from approaching or anything like that, yeah, you have the potential for it to create value, and I like it. I like to see new ways and new ideas about spell usage and stuff. So zoning spells are not always being used sarcastically. Sometimes they do create value.
Maybe next time, leading the way with this smoke with his skeleton walk that he's got. Man, that and Shikuchi, such fun abilities for Rubik Steel. They're gonna run right into Supreme too. Unfortunately, Thug kind of backed up at the wrong time, but they're still able to get this one. A silent Primal Roar. Batrider is coming in from the side and might be able to catch Thug, pull him into the rest of the team. Exotic Deer should have the damage to be able to blow up Thug quite easily. He only takes one shot. That's all that's needed. Maybe next time, goes back to the Infants. Will be able to escape the mid. I think that's worth it for Ad Finem because they stopped the push in mid lane. I think that's they're pretty happy with that one. And maybe next time, manage to chase down Exotic Deer has the dust. Unfortunately, he dies into 2-shot, and Exotic Deer still is tanky enough that he can survive through all this one. The ultimate is now worn itself out. Now he managed to get the Purge creep out. Madara is looking for the Omni Slash. He just, oh, the paralyzing cask. It's so obnoxious. It's too much.
It's like going into a Pokemon battle against Thunder types, Lightning types, whatever. It's not good. It's not good. Status effects. But we'll see here. The Clinks really start building himself up. I mean, with the fact that he always has this just silver platter of big 1,000 HP creeps ready to eat, as well as the Desolator. Like, this guy puts out so much physical damage. So when you're worried about that, as well as multiple other match community piercing abilities, like the lasso, the death ward, like, there's no easy way for you to survive through all of this. I mean, yes, you'll sell fuels and you're trying to get out as much exorcism damage as possible. Yeah, the Juggernaut can obviously Omni Slash, but the other heroes are just food. And it's going to be so easy to just chew them all up. The Clinks has a lot of room to maneuver around, as long as he doesn't just kind of, like, step over a tripwire of a sentry ward.
You gotta be careful, man. That guy has a Desolator. He'll two-shot you. He will two-shot you. That's no joke.
Yeah. If the Clinks had more information, the Chen would be dead right now. Like, I have no question about that. But he plays it safe, not knowing what's lurking around the tree line.
Tier 1 tower not going to die because they do have a glyph. Or not going to die yet. It looks like Finem aren't going to TP and defend it or anything.
They don't even have like a tower to trade up here, so unless they're pushing to tier 2, this is kind of a waste of movement.
It seems like it. They drew the line. They're all out. I'm pretty sure ATN successfully trade both tier 2s though. Like, they have really good pushing heroes. So I think Finem have to go high ground now to actually make this a successful trade.
There is no TP on the Juggernaut either, so he doesn't really have a choice of whether he takes this fight. They have to just go in hard, and in the meantime, you've got Batrider defending his own high ground. It's going to be very awkward.
Skylark bumped into a bad position there with a flame break and then purged there. The Death Ward not able to get enough damage to kill him though. The tier 2s die on both sides, but a tier 3 at top lane does end up going down. They're turning around. No, they managed to get the telekinesis. Nisha gets blown up and gets no lasso damage here. Madara finally gets off the Omni Slash, bouncing over. Kankor is going to be the target here, trying to spin to death, and he does get it, but the Aegis runs out. Right as all that happened, El Lisage ends up going down to the Spirit Siphon to get the Yule Scepter on the Clinks, and now just want to run away from that Desolate damage. They're going to send Thug back to base, and that will be successful. Maybe next time. Don't think you're escaping. Nice attempt at a steal there, trying to go for the Clinks' invis, but that doesn't happen. Spartan, run away, my friend. He's gonna purge some enemies. Purges Nisha. Exotic Deer's still gonna be able to run him down though.
It looks like he will be going down. Won't be able to buy his last component, and that is still gonna be a free buyback return from alternate. Like, yes, they get the tier 2s as well as the tier 1 mid in exchange for their 2 top towers, but they have to buy back 3 heroes for it. They lose 2,000 gold just from that first exchange, and they get a little bit more from the Chen. But as a whole, having to spend that much on buybacks to make sure that you don't lose anything more on top, that's brutal. And it does give Finem a bit of a foothold going into the next Roshan, where you don't have to worry about those heroes buying back.
Chen's item builds. It's gonna pay off too the next push. Finally gonna get some golems and dragons. Things too big for Clinks to munch on.
So Clinks gets his next item scepter upgrade.
Can now eat
627, please. Oh man, you know how pissed that would make every Chen in the world though. Like, it's like, okay, finally I got my Aegonons, and it's like, hey, me too. And he just eats the golem the second you pick him up.
Yeah, how much HP is golem? Almost 2,000. What would that make it? That would be a health gain of about what, 1,500, probably like 1,600 or something, 80%. I can't do the math. And then a damage gain. Don't even know. Not even gonna try. Battle Fury for the Juggernaut is complete. Ags.
It'd be 160 damage, right?
160. I will take your word for it. You could tell me it would be like 532 damage, and I would be like, wow, that is a lot. Damn. I would just fully back you at this point because we're on second series, game number 3. I'm not of my best mind.
You had to do pause Dota solo too, man.
Oh yeah,
like,
that was the worst. God damn it, Sidrid. Need a cup of water. I know that wasn't the real reason they paused, but it just felt like an insult.
You know, that is the real, like, that's the kind of thing where you're like, you don't believe it, but it's probably true. It's like, yeah, the most ridiculous reasons possible. Like, obviously, we know the reason behind it now, but the first time that Eternal Envy's eyes heard at Shanghai, we had to, I was actually trying to cast a game last week, and it was just like 1 minute before start time. It was a Kaipi, so 6-6 team, and I forget who they're up against, and I'm in the Cook slot with Gods, and then I go to grab a glass of water, my son walks in and presses the power button on my computer. Like, it's like the kind of stuff you would never believe unless it just happened, but there it is. Like, it's just, I don't know, what a world we live in.
How did he know? Did his mother teach him that? Did his mother teach him that? You can be honest with me, Blaze. You can be honest.
I think it's my fault. I think, I don't know, it's... You teach kids one thing, you're like, oh, they'll just do it once, or he won't do it at all. It's cool, but
Bat Rider again! Telekinesis before he can even get the lasso this time around. Now they get the roar into Kankor. There's going to be no saving mechanism as Supreme is being run down by Thug. He quickly backs out from Exotic Deer. The Exotic Deer in some trouble is going to have the Omni-Slash bounce over to the Invoker, though. And this will be a lane of rags for Finem. And pinging out Throne for a second there, but not going to go for it. They still have outer towers on both mid and bottom lane. So Finem can't actually transition that big win to anything more than just a lane of racks. But still, lane of racks at 23 minutes. Is it really only 23 minutes?
Wow. I mean, that's why I'm so amazed to see a fight that involved 3 buybacks on inside the base. That was not even 20 minutes into the game. And it's just, everything's accelerated so quickly. The kill count, obviously the push action. It's what Chen does to the game, man.
Double damage. Exotic Deer. Your rune senses need to be tingling right now, my friend. Oh, denied your effigy. Damn. Ellie Sasha's like, no. No, Kankor. That is a bad effigy. 0 out of 10. Denied.
Alright, this Roche I think boils down to what could be the most decisive fight of the game, as now Alternate are still behind, but they have some potential to make this invade happen. Okay, blinking out. Very close calls here. But it's tough. I mean, you still have that aura, the Granite Aura, 15% HP. Alternate need to find a way into this pit, but so far they've come up empty-handed.
So all comes down to the Bat Rider. He's got to get his initiation. I think at Finem, they've got the right idea here, which is pushing down the tier 1 tower. There's no reason you should try and do Roshan right now with that tier 1 still up. Because if, there's some sort of play by Bat Rider, he drags a big, one of the Death Prophet, the Juggernaut over to the right. There's no reason you should have to, in a way, Saving Private Ryan your way past the tier 1 tower in order to get a fight. So take that tier 1 first, loosen the grip that ATN have as Dire side over the Roshan pit. And maybe they're able to do something. Paralyzing cast, pick off on Skylark, not quite enough damage. Now Exotic Deer hit by the Primal Roar. He's in serious trouble, gets silenced up on the slash down. The pullback there from Nisha, but the telekinesis already hit Nisha, unable to get the full pull out. Kankor going to be run down, and Finem, they're just cleaning up house. That's all that's happening right now. They're going to be able to get Kankor. He's dead. Looks like they're going to be able to get Supreme as well. And Clinks, who bought back in that game, wasn't able to make anything happen.
Brutal. Now they're going to lose the Roshan, and we're looking... Witchsucker will barely get out. Another interesting little treat juke, but in the end, I mean, what can you say?
Exotic Deer, you got to make the big play here. You got to go for the pickoff. But you can't do it on Thug. And you can't do it on Mara.
just pick a different deer. Yeah, just do it right in front of you.
Just go into the... Oh man, if he got into the Roshan pit, they would have seen him. But If he blinked into the Roshan pit maybe earlier. Oh, no.
Yeah, blink and Viz right here. Oh, that'd be sick. Blind. Get caster vision real quick so you can figure all this stuff out. Exotic Deer. There's an opportunity for you. You just got to know about it.
Yeah, there is a small area. There's a small triangle that is outside of both counter wards. All right, that is your play. That's your play right there. You blink and invis at that exact spot, and you could be a god.
Clairvoyance, man, come on. All right, so we've got the Aegis up. We have an Octarine Death Prophet and 400 gold.
Illusion.
Technically, there are tiers 2s up, but I don't think they matter much at all. It really comes down to alternate just doing something crazy. I finally do have the 4th step in the Batrider. I think that's been one big issue. Oh.
Says Skylark as he goes for Supreme with a Primal Roar. Necronomicon. He's going to be grabbed by the lasso, pulled back into the Witch Doctor, who looks at it going. What? Now maybe next time. Uh-oh. Pull him back up. Oh, he's not going to be able to do a Death Ward of his own. Thug. Paralyzing cast. Bouncing back and forth. Back and forth. Not able to get the clinks.
It's ridiculous how many Death Wards get stolen. I mean, but in the end, completely moot.
In the end, still, like, could you say, Blaze, that in the end, it doesn't really matter?
They tried so hard, but alternate, it looks like they're going to be pushed in. It's disastrous. Like, the fact is, this Finem lineup got to do exactly what it wanted to in the top lane. It forced so much out of the first fight that the second one just goes that much easier.
Trying desperately with the Purges to be able to deal with that Ghost Scepter, but Bug is still able to walk away and Ghost Scepter at the last second. The stun onto Madara, not going to be in time as he is able to spin his way out of danger here. Exotic Deer blinking forward, not the place he really needed to blink though. Where's the help? Where's the saves? They don't have anything. Exotic Deer stuck in the trees, will end up going down. I think ATN, they're just in full desperation mode, willing to make anything, any kind of plays if there's a small percentage chance that they can get a kill. But as expected, Finem well in control by this point, and ATN don't seem to be able to get anything.
I think Clinks would have lived there if he had eaten the Ancient Creep. But unfortunately, didn't build that Active Scepter.
Just gotta get that Axe next time, man. Oh! Skylark looking for another Primal Roar, doesn't even have it up.
Oh, the Death Ward!
No,
you Buddha Restoration!
Man, he does not like channeling Buddha Restoration. That is not a thing. If you guys didn't know why Blaze is freaking out every time, you can channel Buddha Restoration while you're at Death Warding, so preventing the steal of Death Ward.
It's okay. It doesn't matter for this game at all, but it is just one of those pet peeves. Some people hate to see Midases go on cooldown. I hate to see Buddha Restoration not toggled for Death Ward. It's just one of those things. But in the meantime, we've got a 13,000 net worth lead for Finem. They have taken 2 lanes of barracks, and I mean, it don't really comes down to like how prepared alternate were for that top lane fight. They took the better trade structurally. They took the tier 2 in mid as well as the tier 1 in mid. They took the tier 2 bottom and they got pushed in at top. They had L5 ready to go, but they just didn't have the fight potential at that moment. Like, it's just the big thing for me is the Batrider lasso is failing repeatedly. He blinks into the entire team, gets immediately telekinesis on the lasso, and it's a useless spell. It's a useless hero, in fact. And part of this maybe is the fact that Nisha went Ether Lens before 4-step. Like, you can't actually disengage with the hero and kidnap him with an Ether Lens. It just doesn't work that way. So I do feel like some of it is how the Batrider got shut down early. His net worth right now is only 8k. And of course, he went for the Ether before Force, which I just feel is a mistake when you've got instant disables like Roar. Well, not instant, but the telekinesis is certainly. And yeah, it's just... I feel like Alternate had a way into this game if they were able to essentially kidnap a player with the lasso, pull them into the Death Ward and the Meteor Detonate. Like, they have so much potential to fight, but I don't know.
Exotic Deer goes up and down and up and down and down and out. Looks like it's Exotic Deer caught underneath the counter wards, telekinesis, dual scepter, picked off. Madara don't even care. Look at Madara. He don't care. Pushing in mid lane, lets his allies do all the heavy work. He's just keeping all the lanes pushed in, so when Finem go for the final push, they'll be able to do maximum amount of damage. Oh, blink for blink. Right as the Aegis was wearing out too. That was your one shot, your one opportunity as ATN to stall this game-ending push from Finem. It's just not going to happen. Spin through the ice wall. Start beating on that tier 3 tower. They've got to get an initiation somewhere. LD Soch does get silenced. Thug is going to be a pretty good lasso here. Gets pulled back almost all the way into the bounce, but managed to get off his Ghost Scepter while the Onyx Last bounce, and up on the Witch Doctor. Finishing him off. Now the buybacks come into play. And Thug just doesn't seem to care. Spirit siphoning away like he's in a fountain of his own. Exorcism heals him back a little bit more. Doesn't have the Ghost Scepter, but does have a Force Staff from his allies. Nisha waiting for his opportunity to be able to get some damage, but there's just no chance. There is just too much right-click power from Finem. Moderum goes through hero after hero, and that is it. ATN, despite taking game number 1, lose game 2 and game 3, be knocked out of the ESL One Frankfurt European Qualifier.
Rough one, man. But I feel like game 2 was really the deciding point for Finem when they were able to pull through and do so much work with their kind of all-around lineup of team fight and early presence. Like obviously the Bounty Hunter put out so much pressure. They were able to sync up really well in that game, and then just draft for the win in this one. Like,